at a fundraiser in the fall, and I thought I'd recruit him for playing different music because he was into Indian music and jazz, and just turned into this great grant where students are learning about music of different cultures, and it's just been a real blessing to have this program.
Natraj is the name of the group. We are now 18 years old. We were founded in 1987, and our music draws on the music of India, both North Indian classical music or Hindustani music, and also South Indian classical music or Carnatic music. We also draw on music from West Africa, which is not included in our presentation for this residency, but we have there are two traditions from West Africa that we draw on: the Dagomba music of northern Ghana and the Ewe music from southern Ghana and Togo. And we combine all this with contemporary jazz.
We're going to begin with our introductory section where we improvise with no percussion. All right, this is called the Allah. And Mr. Senders and I will start, and then we have some of you who will be joining us. Okay? So we'll just do a short.
I have been a long-time friend, collaborator, and artistic instigator to Phil Scarf and the Natraj Ensemble. Phil and I worked together many, many years ago, starting in the very early 1980s in a group called Anti-Gravity, which I founded and which was playing my music. And around that time, I was getting very seriously involved in Hindustani music. And so Phil and I both developed our interest in Hindustani music at that point. And so, in fact, much of the material that was being played today in today's program is actually either compositions of mine or compositions of my teacher in India, material that I've had a chance to teach Phil. And it's a great pleasure to get a chance to sing it with him and to engage in his understanding of Hindustani music, which is, of course, very, very profound and significant.
As long as you can end it strong, then everything sounds good. Because if you do this, and it's better probably to go and then it sounds like you're really meant to be quiet in the first half.
Could I ask you how you learned to sing like this? Because many of the students would probably like to know where you learned to sing this kind of music.
I was 16 years old and I first heard the music being sung on some records. And then I found a teacher here in the Boston area, and I studied with her for 8 years. And then I went to India, and I lived in India for about 5 or 6 years, and off and on, and I studied with a master teacher there. And the way that we learned to sing is I would sit, well, about as far from him as Mr. Scarf here is from me, and he would sing something to me, and I'd sing it back to him, and we'd do that for 4 hours a day, every day. And so he taught me hundreds and hundreds of songs in hundreds of different scales, and how to improvise and how to make up ideas and how to use my voice so that I could sing for a long time and not get tired. And now that's what I make my living doing. So be sure and end it strong.
Well, I have been playing since I was 4 years old. I was schooled in Nagpur, India from my guru Gopal Rao Varegaonkar. He taught me from age 4 to about age 22, and then I took a small break for like a couple of years, and then I started again, and then I came here in '98, and since then I've been, whenever I go back, I try to take a few lessons.
Let's sing the scale. Sa, re, ga, ma, da, sa, da,
Natraj did a residency at MIT a few years ago with the Festival Jazz Ensemble there. And this was the idea of the director, Fred Harris, at MIT. And he proposed that we come in and do some workshops with the students there on how to improvise in Indian classical style. And then we do a collaborative performance. And we had never done a collaborative performance with students before. But we put this together and we did it, and it was very successful. And so what I did for this idea basically evolved out of that. The idea of collaborating with students. And of course now we're working, instead of working with college students, we're working with fourth graders. But it's a very similar idea. I took a lot of the same concepts and just simplified so that it would be something that the fourth graders could do. And then I live in Winchester, and my children go to this school, so I have some involvement with the school, and I know the music teacher. And so I worked with Liz Walden, the music teacher, to put together this concept, the residency. And we got funding from the Winchester Cultural Council to present it. And so that's where it is. And I'm really amazed at how well the students are doing. They're doing a great job. They've learned the entire composition. They've learned all the text in Old Hindi. They have learned how to improvise a bit. In kind of in the Indian classical context. I've showed them a couple of different things, and they use repeated notes in one section, and they do a more melodic treatment in other sections. They have the idea of how to improvise in a lop in the beginning, the introductory section, where there's no percussion and not particularly a rhythmic pulse going on. And they know how to improvise with the pulse, and they know how to improvise using repeated notes. So they've learned a few of the basic concepts.
Now, if you remember the clapping pattern, the percussion pattern, he's playing a very similar line. Great. So everybody now has a chance to hear what that sounds like and how it fits together. Should we just go through the whole sequence? Yeah. All right, cool. And I forgot the drone in the beginning. So we're going to remember this time, and we're going to start with those who are going to sing the drone. And
they drop out.
At the end of the line. So, first of all, remember, those who are singing the drone, remember, if you get a little tired, if you start to thrown out of the air, just take a breath. You can also take a break for a minute and just drop out as you come back in. And also, you should sing fairly quietly because this is a background. This is a background, okay, for Mr. Senders and me, and also for your classmates to improvise. Okay.
This is it's an Indian classical composition. It's a fairly popular piece. I've found that quite a few people that I've presented it to, or my children also know the piece, and when they sing it, a lot of people recognize it. It's fairly popular Indian classical composition. And I thought that it was a good choice for this residency because it's based on a pentatonic scale, a 5-note scale. It's not a complex scale. It's a fairly simple scale to sing. So I thought it would work well with the 4th grade students because they can learn that scale, and it's based on a major scale, but it's only 5 notes. And then the challenge, of course, was to teach them the text, but that worked out well. They were pretty fast at picking that up.
Now this performance is a chance for the 4th graders to show you what they've been learning. It's not something that we have gotten really polished up as a real formal presentation piece, But we're going to go through and show you all the little things, all the different things they've been working on. They're going to sing the drone in the beginning. They're going to sing the composition. They're going to play that percussion pattern that we showed you. They're going to improvise. They're going to do all these things. So you'll get a chance to hear them do this, okay? So this is Japase Tumisanga.